Women belong in all places where decisions are being made.
You don't actually think about being a woman leader. You just try to think about being a good leader. And I think that's true for anybody, whether they're male or female. That being said, you still have challenges. There's always the validation. You know, I always have to prove that I am correct in the direction that I want us to go.
As a woman in the industry, obviously there's plenty of struggles, and you know, we all have our badges of honors, but I think what I try to do is not focus on that, because once I start focusing on that, I'm then making myself different than everyone else.
It's hard to be what you can't see, and I always just think about that. And being a woman leader in a space where there are not a lot of women at all, that makes it difficult. But I want to be that person who the younger me can say, oh, it's possible. I can do it. I can thrive in an industry where it's usually male dominated. I can not only thrive, but I can excel and be a leader in the industry. I can be looked at as someone that makes decisions. I can be looked to as someone who makes a determination about something big and important, and I can have a seat at the table.
Well, being a woman leader in manufacturing, I think it's really an exciting time, because it's been such a male-dominated industry that I think women bring different things to an organization that maybe haven't been in the past brought to organizations. So I just think the whole creative aspect of what women bring is really exciting and important.
For me, being a woman leader is really an opportunity and a responsibility. So I wasn't a person who thought I wanted to be in leadership. I'm not terribly ambitious, but I'm very competitive. But when the opportunity presented itself, it wasn't just about me, it was about those women that are coming behind me and creating spaces for them to be themselves, and then also helping them not make some of the mistakes that I made before, because I didn't have the same amount of role models and connectivity with other women in leadership.
Today we have quite a few women leaders in manufacturing, and so I think kind of setting the pace and setting the culture here within our organization started with the leadership of my brother, and so that was really important to me, and that was passed down to him from my father. We believe that leaders don't have a gender, and that leaders are truly those that are motivators, inspire others, are accountable, and can build teams and resources in order to move a vision forward. And again, those come in a lot of shapes and sizes, and diversity of perspectives is a key part of that. And so I think it's really important as women that we play that voice in this space, in manufacturing particularly.
To me, being a leader in the space, making sure that we're providing that inclusive environment where everybody has something to bring to the table, all opinions are valued and heard, and we're more able to get done what we need to get done when we have that team atmosphere, and that means all backgrounds need to be valued.
And I'm no poster child, but I felt a responsibility to prove people wrong. I want my granddaughter not to have to do that. I want her to walk in a room, no matter how she's dressed, if she chooses to show cleavage, or if she chooses to wear hijab, or anything in the middle. I want her to walk in a room and feel like she belongs there. I want her to leave a positive impact. I want her to contribute to society at large, whether she's in manufacturing, if she's a doctor, if she's a scientist, whatever she ends up doing. I just want her to walk in a room and people to give her the benefit of the doubt. I don't want her to have my life.
I know exactly how I felt when a C-suite executive told me that I was smart for a brown girl. Remember how it felt when someone told me that my hair in its natural state was too distracting or too sexy. Or I was told that how I dress is important because they're going to look at my body before they look at my work. And so you are right, there is so much more we can do. I used to struggle with speaking up because I didn't want to be seen as argumentative or too emotional. Or even too opinionated. And so when I speak up, I'm speaking up for that young girl who didn't speak up when the time was right. Because if I fail and if I'm silent, then I'm allowing the behavior that is not okay. I'm speaking up for my daughter who is 2 and my other daughter who is 6, who one day will be in my shoes, who will be nervous before going into a board meeting with all men in that room. I want her to know she belongs, because women belong exactly where men do.
I think we have a long way to go. When you look at the percentages of us as CEOs, one of the things is I look at how many of us are in roles where true decisions are being made. We're in the game, but we're not in charge of the game yet. I think it's going to require us as women to grab hold of the other women and bring them along, and not be afraid to do so. But a man, the first thing he does is he goes back and gets the support system that he had with him at the other company, right? But women, a lot of times when we as women get those roles, we don't go back and grab the other women that helped us to get there.
So I think what's important for our women coming into the field is to understand that they don't need to change who they are to be successful. We all have value to bring, and if you focus on your strengths, it'll just shine through what you can bring to the team. I think a lot of people try and feel like they have to fit into a specific mold to be successful, and we just don't need to do that anymore. And I think that you're seeing that more and more in the industry.
But I don't think we need to discount, the struggle's not over. You know, I still shouldn't get excited when I see a woman pilot and I want to chase her down and say, hello, Captain, you know, and I'm hopeful that those days will end soon, but I'm still at 50, just as excited about that as I was at 15.
You know, where I started and where I am today, there's a lot more women in leadership. Do I think we're done with that? No, I think there's always an opportunity for more growth in our industry, particularly as we think about women in manufacturing. Again, women need to continue to be confident in themselves, find mentors in the industry to allow them to feel confident in their voice and their growth within the industry, and I think there's a ton of room for growth.
What is a woman maker?
It's a brave woman, for starters. I mean, thinking about the manufacturing space specifically, I mean, it is still so male dominant, so you have to be in that space and be confident, twice as good, work twice as hard, all of those things I think are still true, but I think it's courageous.
What that means is that I touch lives, and the impact at the world at large, and being able to bring people together to do that.
A woman maker is someone who's constantly innovating, you know, bringing their voice and their ideas to the industry, helping pave a path forward for tomorrow, whether that's in workforce development, whether that's on the production lines, and everything we think about that's happening in automation, and advancements in engineering and new technology advancements. There's so much happening that a woman maker could be part of, driving that next generation of what's happening.
I just love the fact that when I get up every morning, or I walk into a room, I can go, I bet you 75% of the people in that room have my chemicals on them. That is a fabulous feeling. It really is. And when I think about how long it took me to get there, it makes me proud.
We are now really coming into our own power and into our own selves to be able to offer so much more to this industry than has been. And we, as we continue to believe in ourselves and really do what we know we can do and be bold, I think that we're just going to make it a much better industry.
I am a woman maker.
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 I am a woman maker.